Hey everyone, we're going to start solving for density. Here we are on the top of page 16. You should already have the title written, density. You should have the formula written, D equals M over V. This you can find in the district packet. D stands for density. It is measured in grams per milliliter or grams per centimeter cubed. M stands for mass and is measured in grams. And V stands for volume and it's measured in milliliters or centimeters cubed. This is the first example we're going to do. In this example we're going to solve for density. This is the simplest type of problem that you will encounter. Just as when we did the stations, you saw that for math in science class we list the variables. We're going to list the variables here also. I do it a little bit different than you saw in the textbook. They had a list of knowns and unknowns, and I just put them all in one list. I'll show you how you do that, and you can choose which one you prefer. But whenever you're passing in work to me, you need one or the other. The way that I do this, I take a look at the formula, or I use the words from the question. I'll show you that in a different type of problem later on. But here we have the formula. I know that I need to find, either through math or this question, a number for density. I need one for mass as well as one for volume. I've listed the three variables here and I have equal signs. I'm going to go into the question now and find any numbers that I can that represent these particular variables. So the question says, what is the density? I'm going to stop there because that has one of my vocab words in it and it's a question. It's asking me to solve for density. What is the density? In my list of variables, I'm going to use a question mark because that is what I'm looking for. What is the density of an object with a mass of 150 grams and a volume of 20 milliliters? If I go back to my list, I do need a mass. Here it says mass of 150 grams. I'm going to copy that in and list it right here. Sometimes they'll tell you its mass. Sometimes you'll have to know its mass from the actual unit. It also tells me there's a volume of 20 milliliters. So I'm going to write the 20 milliliters next to my variable V. Again, here they're telling you its volume, but sometimes you need to know from the units. This is the first thing that's required when you're showing me work. The second thing is to rewrite the formula. So D equals M divided by V. In this case, when I look at my list, I can see that I'm solving for density and my formula is set up to solve for density. So I'm not going to rearrange this formula at all. Because I don't have to rearrange this, I'm just going to do an additional equal sign. I'm going to do my divide line. And then I'm going to look at my top variables in M. I'm going to go to my list and I'm going to take the number and fill it in or replace it with that M. I'm going to take a look here. I'm looking for V. I have a number for V and I'm going to write it in on the bottom. Now I'm set up to grab my calculator, and when I take 150 and I divide it by 20, I get 7.5. I cannot forget my units, so this means I have 7.5 grams per 1 milliliter. I don't have to always include this one, it is understood. So another way we write it would be 7.5 grams per milliliter. These two things mean the same thing. We've just solved for density using our formula D equals M over V.